Will the police remove the name of the person that injured you from the police report? As usual, when the government stalker, after he obtained information from any cases under the Driver's Privacy Protection Act, have finally reached the Supreme Court. Now, under the Driver's Privacy,
A neighborhood watch leader cannot...
the government should be a little more concerned with the people, the drunks, Hi, I'm Burt True with the law firm True & Associates. As usual, when the government steps in to do something after something bad happens, they take it too far. Back in 1989, a young celebrity actress named Rebecca Schaefer was the victim of a stalker. She was murdered by the stalker after he obtained her home address from the California Department of Motor Vehicles. So the federal government decided it was going to do something. It passed a law in 1994 called the Driver's Privacy Protection Act, which requires the police to take out the names and addresses and other personal information from any police report. But of course, the government didn't want to make things difficult for those large corporations that pay a lot of money to lobbyists. So they set up exceptions for insurance companies and for employers, for example, when they're digging up dirt on the people that are interviewing for jobs. And they also put in an exception for themselves so they can go through private personal information. Now, these cases under the Driver's Privacy Protection Act have finally reached the Supreme Court. And we're finding out that the government enacted a law that's too broad in their attempt to do something because something bad happened back in 1989. Now, under the Driver's Privacy Protection Act, a news reporter can't get the names and addresses of people that were injured in a fatal industrial accident. A neighborhood watch leader cannot get the address for a person who was arrested for dealing drugs on their street. A victim advocate for a nonprofit agency cannot get the personal information for a victim who was injured by a drunk driver. And you can't get an unredacted police report for your family member who is injured by a negligent driver or a drunken driver. So what does it mean when a police report is redacted? Redacted means those black lines will be crossing out all of the important information like the person's name, address that injured your family member. Does this violate the freedom of the press protections in the First Amendment of the Constitution? I think it does. Does it violate the spirit of open records laws like Sunshine Laws and the Freedom of Information Act? Absolutely, I think it does. These laws establish a right to know for the general public so that they can check and make sure that their government is doing the right things when it comes to publicly held information. In an era where celebrities routinely post nude pictures of themselves and sex tapes on the internet, I think the government should be a little more concerned with protecting and helping injured people to discover the names and addresses of the people, the drunks, the negligent drivers that injured their family members. But the government is more interested in preventing stalkers from going after celebrity trollops. Now, killing somebody is already illegal, and so is stalking them. So again, the government, in its perennial quest to do something, whenever something bad happens, has taken it too far. This post is not just about criticizing the government. I'm going to give you some tips that you can use to help you. So what can you do about it if you need the police report for a family member that was injured in a wreck? Well, you can get a lawyer. There is an exception for lawyers that are requesting the information in anticipation of litigation. So you can, in fact, I'll put a link below in the description on this YouTube video where you can click and you can request that I get a copy of the police report for you. I'm Burt True with the law firm True & Associates. You can follow me on Twitter at Burt True and on Google Plus at Burt True.